Hello everyone. In today's video, I thought I might share my attempt at turning my recent postcard-sized paintings into a book. In the last few months, I've been using these 5'x7 Baohong blocks instead of a sketchbook. Each one has 20 sheets of their Academy grade cold press paper. I find it much nicer painting on a block than in a sketchbook, to be honest. It also works out cheaper as well compared to buying a sketchbook with the same quality paper. The only problem though is obviously I end up with many loose sheets. I've thought about putting them in like a slipcase type folder, but I thought it might be nice to actually try and make a real book. I've never actually done it before though, so yeah, we'll see how well it turns out. But I managed to find a really good tutorial on YouTube, so yeah, I was feeling okay about at least giving it a go. The video tutorial I watched was from a channel called Nick the Booksmith. I'll leave a link to the channel in the description. I didn't follow it exactly though. I decided to glue the sheets rather than stitching them. For no other reason that it just seemed like a simpler way of doing it. I realised the binding isn't as strong this way, but I'm okay with that really. Right, so the materials I need for the first stage, I have some TOA glue. I think you're supposed to use PVA, but hopefully this is fine. It smells like PVA and looks like PVA, so maybe it's the same thing, I don't know. Then I need some string. I'm going to use a few of the threads to strengthen the binding. And then I also need some clips to hold the sheets together while I'm gluing. So before I start, I need to say that this is most definitely not a tutorial of any kind. If you feel like attempting to make a book of your own, you should follow the tutorial on Nick the Bookbinder's channel. This video is just to share my struggles and maybe you can laugh at how uncrafty I am. So the first stage is to glue the sheets together to create the spine. I'm going to sandwich the sheets between two cling film covered boards. These are just the backing boards from the 5x7 blocks I used, and the film will hopefully stop them sticking to the paper. Right now I'm trying to get the sheets lined up as perfectly as I can. And then I just clip them together so they don't move while I'm trying to glue it. Right, this is as good as I'm going to get it, so now it's time to start the gluing. I'm just spreading the glue along the spine. It doesn't need to be too thick, I don't think, as I'll be doing more coats. I'm just trying to work it in between the sheets a bit. I probably would have been better off using a slightly bigger brush, but this is the one I got, so it'll have to do. Okay, that's all glued now. Now I'm just going to leave it about an hour or so, I guess, to dry. Okay, now it's dried, I can remove the clips and the boards. Hopefully the cling film stopped the board from sticking to the paper. Let's see. Okay, great, came off easily. Right, so now for the next stage. I've put a couple of clips back on just in case this next part goes all wrong. I have to cut some small grooves into the spine with a saw. So first I'm going to mark with a pencil where I want the grooves to be. I think I'm going to go with 5. You can do more or less of these, I guess. I don't really think it matters. But I would think the more you do, the stronger the spine will be. Okay, now onto the sawing part. Right, now I just want to cut a small groove into the glued spine and hopefully not lose any fingers. I don't know if you can see the depth of the groove here. Maybe I'll make it a little bit deeper. And then I'll repeat it 4 more times. Okay, all the grooves are cut and all my fingers are still present. So, good result so far. The next stage is to add the threads to the spine. So the idea is to add a little bit of glue into the groove and then work one of these threads into it. I think this should hopefully make the spine stronger. Now I'm going to repeat it again for the other 4 grooves. And then paint a coat of glue over the entire spine again. Now I'm going to leave that to dry for a while until the next stage. So I didn't film the next stage as stupid me forgot to press record, but it's very simple. It's just I glued this piece of cloth onto the spine. This is what I'm going to use to attach the book to the cover. The size is just slightly shorter than the spine and twice the width on each side. Okay, now it's time to make the cover. First thing I did was make the spine. I just cut this from some thick card. It's the same width as the spine and the same height as the boards that I will use for the cover. So the boards I'm going to use are just the backs of the 5x7 Baohong blocks. I mean, it's great because they're already the right size, so I don't have to cut anything. And the material I'm going to use to wrap the cover is going to be this piece of denim I found. Hopefully it'll look all right. I guess it should be quite hard wearing. Okay, now I'm going to glue the spine and the boards to the fabric. Okay, then I want to glue the boards. I need to leave a 6mm gap between the boards and the spine. Hopefully that's right. Okay, I want to make sure they're straight-ish. Okay, that will do. Now I've trimmed the material to a couple of centimeters all the way around. Now I've got to cut across the corners so that they fold nicely. I made a bit of a mess of this, so the corners didn't end up looking quite as nice as I'd hoped. So now I need to glue the material to the boards. So I'm going to glue both ends followed by the sides. Used a bit too much glue here, so made a little bit of a mess. Okay, now that's all glued and left to dry. I think the cover looks okay. It's a bit messy, but yeah, not bad for a first try. Right, now time to attach the book to the cover. This was a bad move using paper between the flap and the paintings. It kept sticking to the flap, so it wouldn't stick to the board. I had to run to the kitchen and get some cling film to use instead. Okay, now let's repeat the same for the other side. Now I'm going to leave it to dry with a heavy weight on top. Now it's dry and the cover is attached. All that's left to do is neaten up the inside a bit. To do this, I'm going to take measurements from the inside of the cover and cut this sheet of paper from some watercolor paper. And then add glue to the inside cover. And then glue the sheet in place. And hopefully that should hide all the messy bits. Okay, that's one side done. Now I've just got to repeat it for the other side. Okay, all done. Definitely not perfect, and the corners could be better, but I'd say for a first try, it's pretty good. It's definitely gotten rid of my fear of trying to make these books. I'm pretty sure the next time will be better. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Even if it's not perfect, it keeps the painting safe and together in one place. Um, the glue binding seems secure at the moment, but I guess time will tell whether it will start losing pages. Maybe next time I'll try sewn binding. So what do you think? Have you ever made a book before, or are you tempted to give it a try? Let me know in the comments. I'm already looking forward to making the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.